Hi and welcome to the second part of us making clothes for our Sims. In this video, we're going to be using two types of software, which is the Sims 4 Studio and Blender. Again, the links for the software is going to be on the description below, so if you also want to do this, just go ahead and please do check it out. Before we can start editing stuff in Blender, we need to have a model too. We need to have an avatar that we can export in Blender. So that is where the Sims 4 Studio comes in. So once you open that up, and if it's your first time using it, it's gonna ask for a creator name, and it's really easy to set up. So just go. So mine is already open, and once it opens, we need to select create 3D mesh, and then click this button right here that says cast, which is create a sim. Now we need like a UV map or a model for the top side, because what we're making is the shirt, right? So mine, I'm just gonna look for the nude, which is this. So select that, and then remember the folder that we used earlier, which is this one, the sweater. So you need to place it here. So what I did, by the way, is that I also created a folder in that folder, so that I just know where to go if I needed to find that file. So what I did is that I named, or I created a new folder that says S for S, and here is where we're going to save all of the Sims 4 Studio file, so that it's not everywhere. Also, you wanted to name this file as the name of the shirt that you want it to have. This is also the file that you're going to put on your mod folder, so make sure that you name it as what you want your project to be named. Okay, so mine, I'm going to name it as sweater, and then go ahead and save it, and then this will show up. So this is the same avatar that we added on the Marvelous Designer. So go to meshes and then export mesh. Now this, you can just name this anything, like maybe nude or whatever. Just put it in the same folder, the S for S folder, and then click save. By the way, this is also gonna be the Blender file. So this is the one that you're gonna export in Blender, which is this. As you can see, nude.blend. So go to Blender and then open that. Find the folder. Where is our sweater? Here, S for S, and then nude blend. So this is the one that we just saved. So you wanted to rename this so that you don't get confused. By the way, this you can hide that because you don't need it yet, and this one too. Alright, so now we can also import the sweater that we made. So go to file and then import wavefront.object. So it's gonna be this. It should be this one right here. There it is. Isn't she lovely? Alright, so now we have our sweater. So let's just put everything on our file or in Blender before we can start everything. So aside from the nude model, we also need to append it, and we can only append it if we have a reference, and we're gonna get that reference in Sims 4 Studio as well. So just go to that software, file, and main menu. Again, create 3D mesh, click cast, and now what we're gonna do is look for something that is close enough or close to what the project is, and what we have is the sweater, right? So I think this would be good, and you can just select anything as long as it's close to your project. So let's go ahead and select this. Oh no, this blue, the blue one, so that it shows up, and then click next. And then this one, you can rename this anything. Reference for sweater. Sweat. Alright, and then this will show up again. Export mesh, and then you can just rename it the same. Reference for sweater, but don't choose this, okay, because this is a Blender file. that's saving. Okay, there it is. Now go to Blender, go to File, Append, and then it's this one right here, reference for sweater. And then click that, and then this will show up, and then select Object, and then select Studio Mesh. If there's more than one Studio Mesh, also select that. Okay? So we're going to select that and then append from library. There we go. So that is our sweater right there behind the one that we made. Alright, so this thing will show up. You can delete that. So that circle is the bone shape. So right click and then delete. And then you also don't need the rig.001, so delete that as well. Alright, so what we're gonna do is rename this reference. This is the file that we just added in Blender. Now we have everything that we need in Blender so that we can start editing. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that we edit the UV maps. So go to your sweater layer and then click this triangle right here, and then go to UV maps, this one right here, this side, UV maps, and then double click UV maps and then rename it UV_0, and then add another one and name it UV_1. Do not forget to do this, because if you forget to do it, no changes will happen in your sweater. It's not gonna take effect. So make sure that you don't forget to do this. Okay, this is important. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a data transfer. So let me just go ahead and expand this again so that you know when changes are happening. There. So make sure that your sweater is selected, the sweater layer, and then go to this wrench right here, and then select add modifier, and then select data transfer. Now this will show up, and then here select reference, which is this one right here that we just renamed earlier, and then click on or check this face corner data transfer, and then on next to it it's gonna be this. Just select nearest face interpolated, and then select UVs, make sure that it's blue, and then all layers, select UV1 and UV1 on the next one. Okay, so and then once you're done with that, hit apply, and you know that it has been done once this thing shows up. You can also click this sweater right here and then hit tab. If that shows up, it means that you did it right. Okay? Alright, so now let's hide this again. Next is we're going to delete any of this portion that is hidden under our shirt. You know, those orange thingy. We're going to delete parts of it that is covered by the shirt. And by the way, before you do anything else, make sure that these are in sync, and you can do that by hitting this icon right here. Alright, so now they are both in sync. Also, I'm gonna put like a thing here, like keys or key binding, key something or whatever, so that you know what keys to press to select, deselect, precise, and whatever. Okay, so once that we select that, oh, by the way, let's hide the reference first so that it's not in the way. So let's select the nude layer, and then go to your 2D screen and select all of it first by hitting A. And then what I do usually is that I hit B. It's like a box select, and then select all of the this part right here that is covered by the shirt, so that when I can go here, I can go back to the 2D layer and just select the parts that are covered by the shirt, so it's gonna be easier for me to delete it. This, if it looks orange, please do not select that, or else it's gonna be invincible once you export it to your Sims. So I would press C for circle select, and then just use the scroll button in your mouse to zoom in or zoom out, or to make it wider or smaller, and then press it so that you can unselect those dots that is not supposed to be selected. I think I need water. There. Our main goal is not to delete anything that is not covered by the shirt. Okay. Because I had that incident one time where I deleted it by accident and it's invincible. So I don't know how to fix that at that time. Now, on the sleeves, as you can see, we can actually just delete all of this part right here. Oh, sorry. Control C to undo, by the way. As long as you don't see any orange, you can delete it. Okay. And we're deleting it because we need to put this on the layout so that we have space for the shirt to put on the layout. I will show you what it looks like later. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I would go to the 3D screen and then press X and then select faces to delete those selected vertices. I think it's called vertices, but I call it dots. Okay, so once that is done, you go back to this side and then select your sweater and then shift select nude because we need to combine it or merge it. So what to do is Control J to merge those two layers. So let's go ahead and rename this again because I like renaming things. Alright, so now this is what it's gonna look like. See? Oh, by the way, remember what I told you earlier when you don't put anything on the zero in UV editor? It's because of this. This part right here is the zero right here in the UV editor map. That's why we don't put anything in there. Alright? Now we're going to add the template that is used to make clothes for the Sims. And to do that, we need to select all of this, just hit tab and A. Just make sure that all of it is selected. And then open that template, which is this one. This is the template that I use. Again, downloadable on the links. The link is gonna be in the description so you can download it. So that is the template for our shirt. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to move this inside this template. Okay, so that's the reason why we deleted those dots, because we need to place that in there. Don't place it, for example, this is the shirt, right? This is the top. You only put that on the template that says top, so all of that green there, you can put it anywhere there if you want to. So let's go ahead and start moving it. So again, B and then G for grab. So let's select that and then I'm gonna resize it by pressing S. Wait. And then G. And then let's move that over here. So I also want to resize it, I mean expand it like this. So I would press S and then X. There. Okay, so now it is aligned. By the way, let me just go ahead and move it all the way there because we also need this, you know, the garter. I can either put it there or put it here because I feel like we have more space here. And then you can also press S and then R if you want to rotate it. See? Oh my goodness. And by the way, if once you select it, for example like this, select it, and then you were like, oh my god, what's going on? Just hit the right button on your mouse so that you unselect it or undo whatever was coming on. Okay, so that is the garter, and then we need to put this is the left side. Let's make it smaller and then, oh my goodness, and then hit R so we can rotate it in the right angle. And then if I want to expand it like this, like make it tall, press S and then Y. There. See? Okay. This one right here, let's also put it at the bottom. You know what? Just let's just put it right here. By the way, so that you don't need to rotate it, make sure that you already rotated it in your Marvelous Design UV editor, so that you don't need to do this. I actually just did this. I didn't rotate it properly so that I can rotate it here, so that you know, key binding, or you know, the shortcut key for it. Let's make sure that this is, yeah, in the center. Okay, I think I just what happened there, but anyways. And make sure that your patterns are not again on top of each other, or else you're gonna have a problem later once you bake it. Okay, so that is done for me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save this. Sometimes you can get an error, and you're like all the way almost done, and then there was an error, so you can't go back to it again. So let's go ahead and save it. And whenever you save it, always use save as. Okay, file and then save as. Don't control save it. Now I would go back to the sweater folder and add another folder, and I will rename it Blender, which is for Blender files. And now I'm going to rename this file as merged and appended, because that is what we did. I merged the patterns, the shirt and the skin, or the nude skin, or the nude file, and then I also appended it. So that's why I named it like that, and then save it. So that is part 2. My throat hurts. Okay, so let's go to part 3.